Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, a great millstone, peace and salutation to Yakiam, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing this truth and faith and sincerity. On the Bro Shamala from the GMS Houston camp. This lesson is going to be entitled, It has become the habitation of devils. Uh, Going into Revelation, the 18th chapter, basically going into that specific verse and this and explaining what that means. This lesson shouldn't take long. So, I started Revelation 18 and 1, and it says, and after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lighted with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and it's become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right, so this particular verse right here, all right, Babylon has been destroyed, all right, because you got people that will read the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird, and they will basically relate it unto people by saying that it represents people, right? Doing abominable things, being abominable, right? LGBT, this and that. Although these things are going on, that's not what that's talking about. Because Babylon, which represents America, has already been taken out, all right, at this point. You see, so it ain't talking about people. It's talking about the after effect, right, of what's gonna be going on here in America after it's destroyed, or after the destruction. You see, what will be over here. This is what it's talking about. It says, and it become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, going into creatures that are able to survive, right, in the desert, right, in desert conditions, because America would be turned into just that, right? So you could let me see something. Um Give me 1 second. Let me just do it here. Um Isaiah 13. All right. Babylon will fall to the Medes. So this is going into destruction of Babylon. Right, but we know that it's not talking about ancient Babylon, because ancient Babylon wasn't destroyed. It was just simply just taken over. All right, and added as a province. You see, by the Persians. All right. But let's go Persian and the Medes. This is I started at verse 19. I said 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency, shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. So the destruction of Babylon will be as when the Most High destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. He destroyed the Sodom and Gomorrah with fire and brimstone from the heavens. Ancient Babylon didn't go out that way. Like I just said, they were simply taken over and ruled over by another kingdom, right, which were the Persians. Right? So this is a future prophecy. It says, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. So nobody's gonna dwell in Babylon after it's destroyed. Like I said, ancient Babylon was ruled over and it was inhabited, which is Iraq to this day. Right? People are still over there. So we cannot be talking about that land. All right. Can't be talking about that. Right. And this is let me read this again. Isaiah 13:19. Babylon, the glory kingdom, The beauty of the Chaldean excellency shall be as when the Most High with the Sodom and Gomorrah it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pretend there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. All right, I just had to read again. I lost my train of thought for a little minute. You know what happens in the flesh. So it's never going to be inhabited again. All right, because that's how great of a destruction this is going to be. It says, but wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be of doleful creatures, and owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there, and the wild beasts of the islands shall cry in their desolate houses, and the dragons in their pleasant places, and her time is near to come, and her days shall not be prolonged. So basically, Isaiah is seeing the same thing that John saw in the book of Revelation, right? The 18th chapter. These different animals, right? These different, speaking about wild beasts of the desert, right? And it's naming off particular beasts, you see, that will be over here after the destruction takes place. All right. This is Isaiah 34, Psalm 5. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, which the sword of the Heavenly Father is the missiles, those nuclear missiles. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea and upon the people of my curse to judgment. Idumea is basically Edom, right? The Greek way of saying it, right? Idumea is the Greek way of saying Edom. So it's referring to the Edomites. And their land is Babylon the Great. This is Esau's headquarters, right? This represents Mount Seir, right? Today. This represents Edom, Basra, right? Which Basra was the chief city in Edom. Represents all these things. This is where this man dwelt. This is this is his habitation. Now, all right. It says so. This is speaking about the destruction. You see, because if you go up, verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, and as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. So it says, and the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. That's what happens after the missiles. A missile will hit. Like you watch all these different movies, this and that. When certain bombs go off, missiles or whatever, but the smoke goes up into the air, and it just starts rolling up. That's just, like you roll up a scroll, ancient scroll. It's basically what that smoke is doing, right? After the missile hit. So this is Isaiah describing, right, what he's seen, and even John said the same thing. I believe that's let me see. Revelation 6:14, and heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island moved out of their places. Right. So this is because of the missiles. It said the stars of heaven fell to the earth. Right. It looked like stars falling. Right. When those missiles were hitting. See with the fire and all of that, it like the stars just falling down. He describing it the best way that he could. All right. So yeah, seeing the same thing. Now you jump down. This is the destruction. Isaiah 34:14. The wild beasts of the desert also shall also meet with the wild beasts of the island, and the satyr shall cry to his fellow. The screech owl also shall rest there, and find for herself a place of rest. All right. There shall be the great owl make her nest and lay and hatch and gather under her shadow. There shall the vultures be gathered everyone was their mate. So this is what it's talking about, those falls, right? Those devils. Right? It's talking about these creatures, right? After the destruction takes place. That is what it is talking about. Because like I said, Babylon here is already destroyed from the missiles. You see, Revelation 18:4, and I heard a voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that you receive not of her plagues. The plague, that's the missile. Zechariah 14:12 speaks about the missiles being a plague. All right. So that's what this is talking about. Revelation 18:2. When he cried with a strong voice saying, Babylon, the good is fallen, it's become the habitation of devils, because this is the place that they will inhabit. This will be their habitation. The whole of every foul spirit, right? And a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. All right. So yeah, man, that really was the lesson. Let me see one more thing. Yeah, that's not the correct definition. All right, yeah, that was the lesson, and hope it was edifying. With that, I'm gonna say shalom.